Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be launching Is This You TV today. It's a new YouTube series which is also going to be part of our regular Is This You podcast. So who is it for? Well, it's for founders and leaders, it's for coaches and anyone who wants to build a life and a business they truly love. I'm John Forth, I'm a co-founder and business coach here at Is This You, and we help you to build a life and business you love. Each episode, we're going to explore what it really takes to lead with clarity and grow with purpose and create the career and life you actually want. Real conversations, practical insights, and a few laughs along the way. This week, we're talking all about the Is This You Academy, and we're joined by the brilliant Issy Howell, director of Howell Studios and creator of the Looks Like We Made It podcast. So, Issy.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you for being at the studio.
Yeah, and welcome to the studio. That is actually it's
happening.
Studio,
Yeah.
that's
Here it is. It's everyone's studio where you can have your own sort of backdrops, your own stuff, and we're in the Is This You TV studio right now.
Absolutely love it, and so I've become an investor and a non-exec director.
And it's great that you've involved. You're on board. You see the vision and where we are right now. Yeah. So I'm dead chuffed to have you here, and thank you for having me on your podcast. Yeah, I'm amazed to be a guest.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here today. We're going to talk about obviously the podcast studio, but the main thrust of today's conversation is about the Is This You Academy. Mm-hmm. And you're a member of the Academy. You have been through the 2025 cohort, and really just wanted to see what your thoughts were on how the Academy is changing things for you and changing your life and business. And I suppose a huge part of that is the fact that Is This You and I have and Phil have got involved with your business, and that wouldn't have happened without the Academy and the network that we're building.
Totally. And I think what I found as being part of the Academy is because I haven't, other than some work I've done at university, I haven't really been coached for a very long time. I think a lot of what I have done along the way in business, obviously I work with my dad, so a lot of the wisdom, if you will, and the experience that I've got is through both doing stuff, actually doing the work, or being kind of led by my dad as well, which is invaluable sort of stuff. But what I found by being coached is that it does put you in a different kind of position that you'd normally, that I'm not used to really. So I thought when I joined the Academy, I was like thinking, oh, this is a different experience for me because I'm on the other side of the table. I'm not the one doing the training. I'm not the one sort of doing the leading, if you will, and to kind of sort of surrender a little bit and lean into it and to be involved with other people on the other side of the table has been really, really good, because I think that there's so many different types of businesses there, so many different types of people there, is that under no other circumstances would I've had the opportunity to have been in the same space as all of them on the same journey. So for me, it's been really valuable to be able to be part of this community and to all kind of be from different points of life and business and whatever it may be, but to all be going in the same direction and going towards the same goal has been really exciting. And I think that particularly as a younger person as well, I'm clinging on to the word younger very tightly, but I think I'm the youngest in the Academy.
I think you are, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think hopefully by that I can represent a different kind of business person as well, because there are people there who've retired as well, and there's people who are kind of doing it as another career sort of thing that they're moving towards, and people have already had very long careers, and that while that normally would give me a bit of imposter syndrome, I think it's such a supportive group that it doesn't matter about that I feel accepted regardless.
Oh, that's amazing, and thank you, and that just fills us with joy, because that is exactly what we set the Academy out to do. We want to create a movement really of people who can rely on others to lift them up and impart their experience, their knowledge, and help everyone to grow. Mm-hmm. So, it's the all ships rise, type scenario. And I think you're dead right, because nobody knows everything. Mm-hmm. And I've built 2 7-figure businesses. Phil from Is This You has also, we've got Dave, who's been in elite sport as a professional footballer. He's built a 7-figure business. And then we've got all the Academy members. And among them, you've got people who have been, head of Credit Suisse in Poland, I believe it was. We've got entrepreneurs, we've got founders, we've got leaders. And it's incredible to get that pool of knowledge. And to be able to discuss business and personal issues with that cohort. And the more we run the cohort, the more the relationships build. And it's amazing to me how many people have built businesses with other members of the cohort, as you have with us.
Just like me.
And, we wouldn't have known about that opportunity or even discussed that opportunity had it not been for the Academy. But what really comes home to me is, and I've written about it, about my sort of my roller coaster journey. I lost my first sort of 7-figure business in the crash in 2008, and I rebuilt and built another one. But what I didn't have was that support, and I didn't have a framework. So when COVID hit, I kind of lost myself. And I think what the key bit of the Academy to me is, it's the network, but it's also having a framework and a methodology to work through. So you can work through that with clients, you can work through that with yourself. And you mentioned imposter syndrome. I mean, we've got a whole module on imposter syndrome.
Good, I need it.
So we can, you haven't got to that bit yet, but, challenging imposter syndrome, challenging, lack of confidence. And, it's and when you've been in a room with so many people who have almost achieved what you want to achieve, it lifts you. And you become more confident, and you are seeing that, aren't you, through the Academy? You're seeing that confidence rise.
Yeah, totally. I think that what I have taken away from it in particular is, I appreciate the fact that it is all online. I believe it will be for the most part, because I think that has been, as a parent of a toddler, that work-life balance is essential.
And we've had some guest appearances by your little one.
I know, she regularly bursts in and wants to be part of it. But I think that the being able to work it around my actual life is all about that work-life balance. It kind of reflects the way it's delivered, definitely reflects what Is This You is about, which is about not being at the office till, the middle of the night, not kind of missing out on that home life, is the fact that while I'm learning this stuff, I'm in my home environment. I may be in my slippers at the time, but no one knows. Like I'm in that space that I feel like my most comfortable, so then I can be at my most open.
Absolutely.
And I think that massively complements what it's all about. But I really like last session that we just did. Granted, they're after days. They're at the end of the day when I'm probably at my most tired and my most kind of ready for a cup of tea and a sit down. But I sit in them and I push myself to kind of go and do it and get back in that zone, because the conversations that come out of it are really, really interesting. So the one that we just done about sort of about meditation, and then we went into looking at kind of looking inwards and reflecting on ourselves and how we can kind of best put that out to people, and almost coaching ourselves as well as coaching others, because you're teaching us the methodology and the framework for coaching others, but that does require a lot of reflection and looking in at ourselves and thinking, right, well, how can I best represent that, I suppose, as an individual? And the fact that there is homework, and that's normally a scary word to a lot of people, but it is interesting homework in the sense that it carries on what you've already been learning. And I actually got my feedback from Phil and I loved it. It was really nice because it's obviously, because it's CMI, the accreditation attached to it, you have to obviously meet certain criteria. Yeah. So it's not just like you're sort of dossing about with a bunch of people talking about business. You've actually genuinely got responsibilities to meet, criteria to meet, stuff to learn, and that little bit of pressure is good, because I think it means that you take it seriously and you commit to it. And it was nice getting, because I did my homework where I came up with my personal statement and talked about quite deep stuff really about why I'd want to coach and about mental health and all this stuff, and I sent it off to you guys, and what Phil said, where he was like, I wanted to spend a lot of time doing the feedback because you spent a lot of time sending it in, and it was that, because I've been a student at universities that will just send stuff off willy-nilly, but like to know that time's been taken, and when I got that feedback back and I passed, which is good, but like but it it genuinely was like he'd sat and you guys had all sat together and obviously looked at this and approached it one-to-one, and it felt very sort of like, it felt very personal, which was really, really nice. So, and then the session we just had, which went into, it was a lot, it kind of, I think it went off topic in a good way, which is what I really liked, because we all sort of started talking about our businesses and how we personally have dealt with the stuff that's been in the sessions, and even though it didn't quite go to timetable, that was fine, and I think we all lent into it, and that sort of community element was really important. So yeah, totally. As an academy, as a student, if you will, of the academy, I think it's definitely given me plenty to take away so far, and I'm very excited to where it goes next.
Oh, amazing. I mean, it's music to our ears. It's what we want to hear. You know, it is a Chartered Management Institute recognised course, but within it, it's not stuffy. It's not formal. We're all very approachable. And like you say, sometimes the conversation is so interesting and can impact ourselves and our businesses so much that it does kind of go off topic sometimes, but because we've got that framework and structure, we know exactly what we need to work towards. And you know, obviously we can be audited by CMI on the course, and so you know, we're very invested in the homework, giving you the feedback, because also, you know, we want you to succeed as much as anything else, and we want this academy to grow and grow, because the more people who are able to coach and who are able to be leaders and who can actually motivate, inspire and empower others, the better off we all are, and that's what we're trying to create with the academy. And I think we're getting there with that, and the feedback that we're having from all the academy members has been amazing.
Wow.
So thank you very much. We're going to have a few other academy members on this first episode.
Oh, amazing.
But you are the first, because you know, we're in Howell Studios here, and it is
Howell
fabulous.
Towers.
Howell Towers, I love that. Yeah. And so what I'm going to do with Issy TV is ask a final question to everyone who comes on, and just asking, who has inspired you in your life the most?
Oh, let me have a think. Well,
and your dad's sitting over there, so
you know what it is.
Be careful.
You know what it is. If I'm allowed to pick two people, I think that is it has to be my parents.
Yeah,
like so. So yes, I work with my dad, and yes, we're very close as a family. But seeing my parents kind of become grandparents and being sort of very close with them, and them helping me when I'm growing up. And I think growing up happens after 18 as well. And I think through me becoming a parent, all of these sort of life milestones that you hit, you realize who is the most important to you and who's the most valuable people to you. And you learn a lot. And I think my mum and dad are the strongest people I think you'll ever meet. They get a lot thrown at them and they can handle it amazingly. They are such a fantastic couple, in the sense that they talk about how they hate each other, but I think they secretly love each other. But the way they are together, their outlook on life, how bold and colourful and confident and fantastic they are. And I'm not saying that because my dad's in the room. Genuinely, there's a lot from my life and my childhood that I'm very, very lucky to have such a good set of parents. So they've taught me a lot, and it means I can go out now as a fully fledged adult and figure it all out and make mistakes and whatever. But, you know, I've got a supportive group of people around me, and that's what matters. So yeah, definitely my old mum and dad.
Oh, that's amazing. And there he is, sitting behind the studio booth with a tear in his eye. And the colourful bit is absolutely bang on there.
Oh,
totally. I can see Chris's shoes.
Totally. My mum and dad, when we had that premiere at Sunderland, when we had our big screen that you were the voice for, obviously my mum there in a full flowery suit, my dad with his big colour, like you can spot them in a crowd. It's amazing.
You can. And I'll second that. I think your parents are amazing too. I've only met your mum once, but I obviously know Chris very well now.
Oh yeah, no, they're both amazing.
And you are a fantastic adult. So
thank you. I'm a testimonial to.
You are a fully fledged adult.
Oh, thanks for having me, John.
Thanks, Izzy. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. And welcome back to Is This You TV. So thank you very much to the wonderful Issy Howell, who has just departed. And we've been joined magically by Phil Gray, my fellow co-founder of Is This You, and by Dave Gleghorn, another member of our academy who is a performance coach. So welcome, lads.
Thank you, John.
Great.
I'm loving the fact that we're in here at long last.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got our studio. Brilliant. Have I mentioned it's the Howell Studios
I don't think you mentioned it.
podcast where basically you can have any background you want and you're sitting in this amazing studio and it looks like you're on TV, which is amazing.
It's amazing.
So so this is going out on YouTube and then it'll be cut across all of the podcast platforms. So and Izzy will be doing that at the touch of a button. So if anybody wants that kind of service, you know where to come.
Pure magic.
Yeah, pure magic, pure magic. And as we say, audio never looks so good. That's the strap line. So, Dave, first of all, just wanted to chat with you about your experience in the Is This You Academy today. So can you just give us a little summary of how that's going?
Yeah, but can I first tell you about how it came about?
You can,
Because,
absolutely.
I remember it was during an event I was presenting at, and after you're both there, sat and had a chat with you, Phil, and we had a discussion about what we do, why we do it. The passion was the same, the principles were the same, but Phil said, it's tough on your own, isn't it? And right at that point, I thought, I hadn't really considered it before, and I thought, wow, actually, it is.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Which is when Phil introduced the concept of Is This You Academy, that it was a committed, similar-minded bunch of people. Do I fancy getting involved? And from that I thought, God, yeah, great idea. No brainer.
Brilliant. Amazing. Well done, Phil. There you go.
Yeah.
He's a good sales lad, isn't he?
One
He's
sentence, a
a
good
good
start.
salesman. You get a gold star.
It was one sentence, and I'm sure he didn't read it from any note in his pocket. He just,
Do you know where it came from? Is obviously I coached a long while back on my own, and it's coaching's brilliant, absolutely, as you know. It's superb. You get the fulfillment of having an impact on people in their lives, but when you're doing it on your own, you're just in your own little, you might be sat at your desk at home, you've got all your marketing, going out, doing your networking, doing the account, and you lose the thing that you love doing, and also you've not got the strength of the collective around you. And so when we did that, it was just such a massive difference. So anyone who's doing that, they want to understand exactly what it feels like. So that's it.
And we've all been through that, haven't we? I mean, to be honest, Phil and I needed Is This You as much as our clients do, and that's why we've built it. That's why it's come together.
I didn't realise, because I'm so used to doing it on my own, 15, 20 years, until I've joined Is This You Academy, and then you see the differences, the gaps start to close and the opportunities start to open up. It's really powerful.
Exactly, because you are connecting with people who are all in business. The opportunities are just coming. I mean, you're one of the academy members who are starting a new business through the academy.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell us a bit about that, Dave?
About Is This You Elite?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the Is This You Academy, the power in that is the network, isn't it? Because I thought I was going to join to deepen my coaching experience, my expertise, elaborate from a framework that you've built, and I thought that was going to be the main thing. The magic is the collaboration, the network, and it's like the 2 + 2 = 5. You get us in a room. It's exactly what happened with us, wasn't it? We sat down, we were talking about things, and then one thing led to another. Hey, what about this and what about this? And if we just did that, then we evolved this model, which is now Is This You Elite, to be able to work at the very top with high-level sporting professionals, business professionals, to really give them that edge over the competition, or that edge to push themselves to be the best version of themselves and hit their potential, but doing it in a way that's really consistent.
Absolutely.
Really exciting.
And this leans into Phil's experience as an elite athlete. And my experience not as an elite athlete at all. I've never approached any form of level as an athlete, but obviously in business I have that experience. So, but Is This You Elite is really kind of initially aimed at the high level athletes, isn't it? For that's the initial marketplace.
What excited me is obviously Dave's knowledge and depth of knowledge and experience in mindset, and you know what I'm like with mindset. I just go off on one once we get into that, and the fact that, you know, when you're in the arena, so to speak, in sport, and you're doing something, you how your mind's 95% of how you're going to actually perform. So when we got talking about that, and just absolutely loving the fact that he's working with, you know, world record holders,
world champions, world record holders, top elite,
and so it was one of these. It was like we just got talking about that, and then sort of thought, well, actually, let's push this, because when Dave said to me, it's 90% of your performance. You physically train every day, and you've got a plan. But what do you do mentally? What's your mental plan? Mm-hmm. What's the mental training that you do? And I think if you took a cross section of athletes and asked them, what mental training do you do every day, you'd be lucky if you got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But you also ask them the same question as to how much of your performance is mental. They'll probably give you 80-90%. So where's the training?
Yeah.
And it was that was like, well, actually, let's put something in place that's actually doing that mental training developing a mental plan, and let's start getting people working on that. And there's, without question, there's going to be business people as well who say, well, hang on a second, I want that elite mindset.
I was just going to mention that, because it translates into the high level business performance, doesn't it? Because it's a similar mindset. You know, the framework and the modules that we've built in Issy for the academy and for our one-to-one coaching are very similar to the framework and models for the elite athlete. So did you want to expand on that, how it sort of the elite athletic performance can translate into business?
Yeah, definitely. There's so many parallels. I mean, funnily enough, going back to that talk that you were at, that we had the conversation afterwards, I was talking about the similarities between elite sport and business, and the fact that there's nearly all of it is quite similar at the highest level. But the one stark difference is lack of strategic recovery in business, whereas you have that in in sport, you don't have it in business. So quite often that's where overwhelm and burnout can come in.
Yeah.
Saying that we're talking about strategic recovery in sport, very physical, that's obvious. But there's a lot within elite sport where strategic recovery mentally doesn't happen. So they can switch off physically and relax, but they're still thinking about the game or the mistake or what about Saturday, and they don't know how to come down or to relax from that to be able to then get back up to it. So it's deliberate planning, really.
Absolutely.
On both counts.
And that's part of what we do in our coaching within the academy, but also, you know, in our one-to-one coaching with founders and business leaders, is to build that in, is to block time out for that recovery. And you have to do that. You have to give yourself that time to actually recover from the intense performance that you've been delivering. But I also find when I do that recovery, when I always take myself away from the day-to-day to somewhere completely different, a favorite place, a favorite hotel, wherever it is. But I find that I come up with those best ideas and those new ideas to push the business forward.
Yeah.
But it's having that kind of awareness to block it in, to build it in. And it isn't sort of, I think a lot of business owners and founders will sort of think, it's slacking off. It's absolutely not.
No, it's not.
It's recovery, and it's going against becoming more creative.
You've heard me talk loads of time about progressive overload and periodization. It's the fact of you've got to stress. You've got to put the stressors on. You've got to have that to get the load in. But without the recovery, you'll hit a plateau and you'll go into burnout. So if you can put on that load, the stress, get the recovery, you then go again, and it enables you to get a much higher peak as to where you can go at. But you've got to plan it in.
Absolutely, and it's fundamental to everything we do. I mean, in his issue, the individual coaching and the academy, it's all about sort of setting out where you want to be in 2-3 years' time, and then reverse engineering it back. So looking at, okay, well, where do you want to be at the end of 12 months? Where do you want to be at the end of every quarter of this year? Where do you want to be then at the end of the month?
Yeah.
And then we'll work out a win the week strategy. So we're looking at each week, because each week really is strategically important, whether that week is spent building the business or in recovery. It's strategically important to have that plan, because without that plan, you're you get lost and
Yeah.
you don't really achieve that progression and that performance. And it's
100%.
the same for both, elite business and elite athletes.
Well, the win the week. It's. I think I know other people have used it, but when we came up with it, was that bit of in sport. It's in football predominantly. It's about winning at the weekend. It's the goal that is really, really clear. Win this weekend. And yes, the more you repeat that, the more you're going to higher up in the table you're going to be, or competition. But it's really, really crystal clear. You've got to win this week.
Absolutely.
And it's a bit of like, how are you going to win your week for to maximise your likelihood of success?
Absolutely. And it's that compound effect, isn't it? So that as the weeks tick by and you are ticking off these milestones, you are progressing towards your end goals. And what I think we've found through our coaching in the academy is having that built-in time period where you do reflect as a group and look at where you've come from and look at the achievements and then set out your goals to go again. Yeah. And it's the accountability. It's having built-in accountability sessions, and I think it's been proven to be you're 95% more likely to achieve a goal if you've got built-in accountability. So you know that there is going to be a reckoning if you haven't hit what you have set out to do. Mm-hmm. So I think the accountability within the group is huge as well.
It's massive. It's really powerful. What I love about the model, the ISSU model that you operate and we're goal set from, is that, like you say, you go to the goal, go to your aspirations, manufacture it backwards, and then put things in place. But inevitably, when you put things in place to say, right, okay, then if I want to hit this goal by 12 months, then by 6 months I need to be here. What do I need to achieve after 3 months? Because we're focused on it, because we've got the accountability, but also because we've got the support, we'll get there much more quickly than we think.
Absolutely.
So instead of something taking, I need to be here by here, all of a sudden we've achieved that in a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
And that's what we're finding. I mean, people come to us and say, how have you scaled ISSU so quickly?
Yeah.
And it is through having that plan and having those every week is strategically important, and we aim to win the week. And obviously we do adopt a lot of AI in our processing as well, which has helped. So we've come at it, from a position we're all business leaders. We've all built 7-figure businesses, and we've sort of took a step back and sort of where do we want to go? What do we want to achieve? And we want to do it together because we all know the power of the network, and that's how ISSU has scaled so quickly. And it is having that network around us, and the members of the academy are seeing that now. New businesses, new opportunities, everything that's happening within that network is so powerful.
And the amount of conversations that are happening offline, when we're capturing it, when we're going through the hour of intense focus, the hour and a half, and, I can help you with that. Oh, yeah, can we take this?
Yeah.
And then this is how the networks expand out.
But collaboration's where it's at, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
Everyone starts working together, and we have pieced together a real breadth of experience and knowledge. So we have got, whatever challenge anyone's going to have within the group, we've got somebody in there that actually can help and support. So when everyone's collaborating like that, things happen much quicker because you haven't got to think, there's this problem. Who would I go and see about that? It's like, bang, I'll
talk about it on the next session.
Yeah.
There's 15 people on the next session. There's 20 people on the next session.
Or jump in the WhatsApp group.
Jump in the WhatsApp group. Exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you know what I think? The real power of becoming a coach within ISSU is like I say, you enhance your coaching skills. You increase your network as well, but you find your tribe. We're all very similar in terms of the way we think. We're positive. We're progressive. Helpful, want everybody to succeed.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find your tribe if you're an individual coach out there trying to make it alone. You feel isolated quite often.
Yeah.
I think you get a lot of energy from being in that tribe, don't you? When you've got people that are like-minded people that feel the same way about things, you get the energy from it, and rather than feeling like you're battering against the people, really, is that the way it is? There's none of that because you're all see things the same way. And
it's the environment you put yourself in. If you surround yourself by, listening to all the bad news stories on TV, you become kind of a bit depressed. You become a bit negative. If you surround yourself doom scrolling on social media, you have the similar. But then conversely, if you if you surround yourself by people who are inspired, on a mission, motivated, that you become that way yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
But the connections are the key, because you can be inspired with nothing to do with it. But if you take the action, start to learn that framework as to how you can have maximum performance, but also the people who can connect you in to others and organisations and opportunities in order to deliver it, and it's the perfect situation.
It is.
In talking about frameworks, we've built frameworks and processes, haven't we, within Is This You Elite, but also Is This You, the Academy, that it almost becomes automatic. You follow the program, you follow the protocols, and it starts working straight away for you.
Absolutely.
From the mindset, you talked before about the majority of people don't have a mindset plan, which they don't. But mindset operates everything. You're mentally driven 100%. Absolutely. So how do you use that? And from the second you get up in the morning, we've got protocols that deliver best practice around getting the most out of yourself, being more energized,
getting the most out of
taking
every
the
day.
Recovery. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. And and that's the thing. We see results from some people from the very first session. The very first session, the light bulb goes on and they go, oh yeah, I can think differently about this.
Yeah.
And the opportunity is potentially there. And I can talk to people who've been there and done it. And we're all human. We all want to support each other. We're all in the same tribe, as you said, Dave.
Yeah.
What I love is simplicity. It's like the reality is, a lot of people know a lot of this, but they just haven't got the awareness. They're not aware of how they're thinking. They're not aware of how they respond. They're just reacting to what hits them. And once we start to spell it out and put it in front of them, and they become aware of what's going on, immediately you get an impact and you're getting the results.
It's a question. You're not reactive to life. You are proactive, and you're designing the life and the business you want. And I think you have that decision. You can make that decision to actually design that life and business you want.
And I think people who are maybe watching this thinking, I'd love to, but I'm not sure I can, and dipping that toe in and out. It's the belief, isn't it? Once you get in, you get around people who are like-minded, the belief is totally different. It just, the penny drops and you go, hey, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
I've got the support there.
And why not? We're all just normal people who are doing it. It's just we've found a framework that works. We've found a group that works. I mean, you probably all know my story, and I've got the newsletter out now, and I'm going through the story again, and some good funny ones in there. Mind, the next episode is going to be, the next issue is amazing. Just a little tidbit on that is where I was accused as part of a conspiracy to steal lots of Michael Jackson memorabilia. So that's in the next issue, and that all falls into my story as well, But I've had some huge downs, some huge negativity, thinking I can never be anything or not do anything again once I lost the first sort of 7-figure business in the 2008 crash. That isn't true. You just have to change your mindset. You just have to get around people who have done it and can help you, and you just have to then have a framework to walk towards.
It's that what you said there about getting around people who can get around you, and that's in the academy. It is that point of the fact that with our tribe, as we said earlier, you've got, rather than having people telling you can't do it, you've got people who are doing it and have done it, and they're in the process, so that they know that you can, and then they'll get round you because they want you to succeed.
100%.
They want to cheer you on. They want to give you the help and the support. And then as that collective says, as you know, like the opportunities that have come from that, then make it easier for you to actually do it. So not only you got the support in it, but actually there's opportunities come from it that you wouldn't have if you're on your own.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys for coming. It's been really, really enlightening. And if anybody's interested in the Academy or the Academy Elite, then, or Is This You Elite, sorry, then...
There's a new one.
That's a new one. We're just waiting for someone to come and do Academy Elite. If you want that opportunity, come and join us. So all the links will be in the episode notes. So hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming along. Thanks very much. Till the next time.
Thank you.
So welcome back, and I've got with me Dan Minhinnet from Pathway Soccer. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you very much, John.
You're very welcome. And what do you think of this studio?
Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Absolutely fantastic.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
We just like, this can be obviously Pathway Soccer. We could be sitting in Wembley Stadium, on the centre circle, having a chat like the pros, yeah.
Pitch side view.
It is amazing concept. But yeah, just wanted to chat about Dan. You've been a client of ours on one-to-one coaching, and just really we've talked about the academy quite a lot in the previous two interviews. So just want to ask you your experience of myself as a coach. Not that you're on the spot or anything, I mean, like you're not hardly going to say anything bad right now. You might.
I'll save that for the bloopers.
Save it for the bloopers. But yeah, just an overview of how the one-to-one coaching has gone for you.
Yeah, I think it highlighted a lot of things. I think as a relatively new business, I think it was important to identify areas of improvement and strategies in ways in which I can develop the business further as well. I think that moving forward, the advice and the kind of framework you gave and advised was something that when I implement it, not if, sorry.
No, it's got to be, action is the only way, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but unless you action it.
That's it. So when it's implemented, obviously, I think the key thing for me was working on the business rather than in it, and and the kind of advice that you gave me and the framework you gave me was probably kind of proving valuable for that.
Smashing, Dan. Yeah, I mean, and I think we've just talked about it with the last guest, is taking a step out of the day-to-day and putting yourself in a new environment that is really comfortable and you're happy in, and actually working on it. And working on the business and on yourself as well is really important. Yeah, definitely. And obviously, you're a relatively new client, so we will have those accountability sessions to make sure you do that. Yeah. You put that action in place, because that's often with founders. They are super busy working in their businesses, and it's ensuring that they take that step back, because you're just like a highly paid employee. If you're just working in your business all the time, you just need to take that step back and work on it strategically. But that's brilliant, and in our next session we'll have that accountability, so I really need to see you implement
100%, not a problem.
But now we're on. Tell us a bit more about Pathway Soccer.
So we are, as I say, relatively new business. We're a football experience provider, and we work with the biggest teams around the world, so the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona in Europe, and then domestically Manchester City, Fulham, Arsenal, Tottenham in London. So
quite a client list there.
Yeah, not too bad. It's developed over the years. So what we do is we take grassroots kids football teams and schools and private coaching facilitators. We take them to experience the world of football. So that can range from a one-day experience where they go and watch a game and tour a stadium, to a week where they've fully immersed themselves within that chosen destination. So within that, they might have a couple of training sessions with the club. They might go and tour the stadium, go and watch a live game. And then around that, we kind of are it's kind of a bit more niche, because we have the educational element in there as well. Yeah. So we're partnered with a few third parties who can provide educational workshops that other businesses don't and can't do that. Yeah. So things like mindset workshops and anti-racism workshops and other things.
Oh, amazing.
So it's life skills as well as the kind of football skills, and the kind of the experience as a whole is a really kind of fully immersive and what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? It's just that fully holistic experience.
Love that. Yeah, that's the one. It sounds amazing, Dan. And your clients, do you work with families? Do you work with organisations? How does that work?
Yeah, so for the domestic experiences, families come aboard and they get involved. Parents and children kind of have that experience together. For the European ones, while we do encourage families to attend, we find that it's usually the players from grassroots teams and schools, pupils from schools that attend with their teachers or coaches. Now, if it is a grassroots experience, then we've got a little bit more flexibility for parents and siblings to attend, which is great. The full family can experience it. But yeah, I mean, depending on the kind of organisation, depends on who is in attendance.
Amazing. And how can people find out more about you?
So we are online. It's pathwaysoccer.uk, and obviously all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, and soon in this fantastic studio that we're sitting in here, we hope to be running information podcasts and things like that. So.
Brilliant, amazing, because you can do all your videos, you can do everything in this space and all fully branded. So that'll be incredible. Look forward to that.
It'll be brilliant.
And Dan, we're going to put all of the links to you and Pathway Soccer in the episode notes, so anyone who's listening can come directly to you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Lovely to have you on.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All the best. Thanks mate.